I am Kira Dixon.
And I'm Mel Reid.
And this is Quiet Please. And we're your hosts.
And this is officially your first episode.
And this is officially our first episode. Mel, we have a podcast.
Who the hell let us have a podcast, first of all?
iHeart did.
I know. So thank you to iHeart. Hopefully we won't be a disappointment to everyone, but we've been talking about this for a while and we're very excited about it. And we hope that the audience is very excited about listening to us talk about a lot of things over the next few weeks and years, hopefully. And hopefully this is the start of something really cool.
Years of
decades
of exciting yapping to come for everyone out there. We've been working really hard on this. Our producers have all been working really hard on this. Shout out Grace, Zoe, Jesse, and the whole iHeart team. But we thought we would kind of start with just explaining what Quiet Please is and what listeners can expect from our show when you obviously tune in every single week on Wednesdays, because that's when the show will air. You can spend your Wednesday with us, drink your coffee, and get caught up on life and the haps and stuff. So obviously, Mel and I know each other through golf. And the through line of this show will probably be golf-ish, but that's not everything that we're going to be talking about.
No, it's not. I mean, I think golf is going to kind of be the main bloodline, I would say, that connects a lot of our guests, our stories, kind of other insights that we're going to go into. But it's going to be different from a normal golf podcast. I feel like, obviously, not only being a golfer, but, being a fan of golf, I listen to a lot of golf podcasts, and I wanted this one to be a little bit different. And so, yeah, I think we're going to get some really cool guests on. I think me and you are going to talk about some real stuff, real talk, and hopefully talk about issues that are important to us as well. And hopefully the audience can tell us what they think, if they enjoy it or not, and we can talk about things that they want to talk about. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. And I had to bring... I should say that I was very thankful that they asked both of us to do it, because you're the intelligent one. You're the one that actually knows what you're doing, and you're a fantastic host. And I'm just the one that talks absolute shite. So
I can talk
shite. A fantastic mix. Hopefully we're going to be a really good mix. Kira's the one that kind of brings me back in the lines and tells me to behave myself occasionally. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun podcast. And we're very excited. But listen, we're trying to make it a little bit spicy, a little bit fun. Some real talk, and we're going to be very honest on here and very real, and hopefully we can kind of pull out all kinds of emotions to the audience.
Yeah, and I'll just say I'm not the intelligent one. I'm just the one that is a trained host, so I will just keep us on time and things of that nature. And keep the show on the road, keep us on the rails. But in terms of some of the specific things that we're gonna be touching on, you mentioned, Mel, the guests that we're going to have on because of golf. We do know some cool people because of golf. That's one of the best things about golf. So we're going to have them on and mention, their golf life, but also just who they are, their stories. So we're very excited about some of the guests we're going to have on. We're just going to spend some time reacting to maybe some golf haps, maybe some current events, maybe some pop culture, anything that we think is relevant and relevant to us. We'll want to talk about that, because if you're listening to us, then that means it's probably relevant to you as well. And then we, as you mentioned, Mel, we want to make sure we're including our listeners. So we've got some great ideas for including your listener questions and reacting to stuff and making sure this is a super interactive show. So that's what we've got for now. It could possibly change depending on how things go.
But no, we're very excited. So we've put in a lot of hard work, like you said, and we've got some cool guests. I kind of feel like I'm just repeating what you're saying, but I think that it's going to be fun.
We're excited.
We're very excited. It's finally here. It's been a long time in the making. So yeah, we're ready to do it, aren't we?
Yeah, we're ready to do it. So without further ado, I think we think what we talked about, at least in preparation for this, is that we wanted to have folks get to know us that are listening, that maybe they don't know too much about Mel or they don't know too much about me, and learn about why we're doing this and who we are. So we thought the best way to do that would be if I asked some questions to Mel and if Mel asked some questions to me. And everyone can get to know us that way.
Are you going to go first? I'm a bit nervous about what you're going to ask me, to be honest.
I kept it PG. I sent you what I was going to ask you, pretty much.
Well, I know, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff that it couldn't be PG with me, so I'm just a bit nervous about.
I mean, do you want to do
you
that?
Can definitely, you can do way past PG if you want. I'm very open. I'm an open book, girl. You know me.
Okay, well, let's start with something easy. So, why did you want to start a podcast?
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, I've actually been a fan of podcasts for a very long time. I love listening to podcasts. Obviously, we both travel a lot. And as a professional golfer, we travel most weeks and we're in the car or on a plane. And so podcast is kind of my go-to. I just love learning about things. I love people's opinions. I love kind of educating myself on things that I'm probably not educated on. And so it's always been something that I've been interested in. My friends say that I'm really good at just talking. So that's probably why I wanted to start a podcast as well. I don't have any issue in talking. So it's just something that has always kind of been in the back of my mind. And then when the opportunity came about, and obviously when it came about with the approach to meet and you together, I felt a bit more comfortable than, say, if I was going to do it on my own or something. And so that kind of just kind of gave me the confidence to take that leap, really, having you as my host. Look at me giving you compliments already,
wow,
Kira. Right, it's
so
the first
nice.
episode. Give it a few episodes.
Like that's the last compliment
That's the last
I get.
compliment you get. But yeah, it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I think that we could, and I think the way that we are, I think our dynamic is pretty interesting. You know, me, I've got some really cool stories about tour life. You've obviously a broadcaster and you've got kind of amazing story of your own. And so I think that we can bring in some really cool insights from both sides and connect to a lot of people. And that's something that I've always wanted to do, is kind of connect with people, help people, change people's opinions of things a little bit. And that's why I've always wanted to start a podcast.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said, especially the getting to do it with you. That was a huge part of why I wanted to do this, because carrying a show by yourself is really hard.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we've been able to really collaborate and share ideas. And I feel like we get going, we start talking about stuff, we get super excited, and then great stuff comes out of that. And it's just, you know, when you get to actually work with somebody, it kind of brings out the best in you, especially when you're working with someone as great as Mel. And that's the last nice thing I say about you too.
And I had to buy a MacBook to do this podcast, by the way. I just want to clear this up. And I've done, poor Kira and the team have had about 55 Google Docs during the whole week, because Carly's taught me, my wife has taught me how to do a Google Doc, and now it's literally my favorite thing in the whole world. So apologize for that, but it's not going to change.
Can you tell, before we move on, can you tell the story of you going to the Apple store to get your very first MacBook how old are you?
I'm 37-ish.
As a 37-year-old grown adult.
Yeah, so I was obviously told by the team, like, hey, you should probably get a MacBook because you can't just travel with a desktop computer, which we have at home. So anyway, so I go in and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like, oh, that one looks pretty. I'll just get that one. And the guy was like, oh, have you ever used a MacBook before? And I was like, I've never had a laptop, I don't think, in my life. And he was like, oh. And he was like, well, did you not have one for your job? I was like, no, I've never had a job. And so he must think like, I didn't even then think like, oh, I should probably tell him I'm a professional athlete. But I just was like, no, I've never really had a job. Like, not since I was like 14, 15. And the poor guy was like, who is this absolute fucking weirdo?
Who's this trust fund baby coming in?
Exactly. Who's this trust fund baby from Pontevedra or something, like coming in and just tearing up the most expensive MacBooks you can find. So yeah, that was my experience, but it is pretty swag. And I sent you and our agent, Cassette, and our other agent, I think I sent Liv as well, a really cool video of me buying, well, in the car, wasn't it? How excited I was with my new sexy laptop. But yes, I don't know how to use it. Poor Carly, I have to ask her for kind of basically how to run a MacBook every day. So yeah, I'm kind of starting to piss her off a bit, but it's all good. Hey, I'm starting to get it.
You're working. You're bringing home the bacon.
Exactly.
It's for the family.
It's for the family, babe. Yeah, all good. All good.
Okay, you thought of the name Quiet Please for the show.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so actually finding a name for a podcast is really difficult. And
just to be clear, none of the ones I suggested were picked. So yes, I
know. Yours were great, but so basically it's not like me at all, but I'd had a few, I think we'd gone out on a Friday night, I had a couple of beers, have a couple of cocktails, happy hour cocktails. And it just came to me, like my best ideas do after a couple of cocktails and a few beers. So I just thought Quiet Please, because I feel like as women, we're kind of told to be quiet a lot and kind of hide our opinions and our thoughts and kind of just fit in society. And I've kind of been told that a little bit in my life as well for different kinds of things. And I just thought, Quiet Please with the paddle at golf, I just thought it was a great concept. And I just thought it was a cool name. And, fortunately, everyone else liked it as well. But yours were great, Kira. Yours were great.
Yeah, they were fine. That's okay. I didn't take it personally. I in fact, when I saw Quiet Place, I was like, that's it. Minor, as you would say, shite. Thank you. Okay, let's dive. Thank you. Okay, tell us about how you grew up, so that people have context for who you are, and how you became a professional golfer.
Oh, okay. So obviously a long story, very short. I grew up in a place called Derby in the very middle of England, in the countryside, where everyone has black labs and goes to the pub most days of the week. Was a footballer, so a soccer player growing up. Just loved it. Wanted to be a professional footballer. Was definitely my first love. And then I couldn't play football with the boys anymore, and I just didn't enjoy it as much with the women at the time. It just wasn't really what it is now, the opportunities. And so I decided, well, actually my parents made me go to play golf in the 6 weeks holiday, kind of to get rid of me. And I just made unbelievable mates there, literally straight off the bat.
At what age?
Like 10 or 11. Like a lot of the guys I played football with were at the golf club. That my parents were members at. And so, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And we would play 45 holes a day. My parents would drop me off at 7:30 in the morning, pick me up at 8 o'clock at night, give me £5 for my lunch, but I'd try and win them. I'd either have lunch or not, because we'd always gamble it with the boys, even at that age. And just fell in love with it. And then just got pretty good pretty quick, to be honest, just with the amount I was playing. And it was just kind of down the road from my school. So I'd go every single day after school. Got to scratch at like 15, 16 and was in the England squads at like 13, 14. And then that was it. I kind of knew from the age of 14 I wanted to be a professional golfer, and got a job at the golf club from 14 to 15, and then wanted to kind of quit school at 17. Wanted to move to America. My mum was like, absolutely not. I don't trust you on your own in America. So got another
smart
job.
Lady.
Very smart. Got another job working at Marriott, and then worked there for a year, and then kind of turned pro. I kind of won a lot of things as an amateur and felt I was ready for the next step. And the rest is history. I kind of just turned pro very young at 19, 20 and didn't look back. And so, been on tour for 17, 18 years now. So it's been very up and down, but it's been a ride, actually. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I've been on tour 17 years. It makes me shiver.
Well, that's kind of changing now too. Can we talk about that?
You can talk about it.
Let's tell us about your Irish exit. Tell us about your Irish exit.
I've just done an Irish exit of my professional golf career because I just don't want to whole sing and dance about it. I played Grant Thornton. I kind of had a feeling last year that it was going to be my last year. I just didn't want to tell anyone. Told my closest friends, but I've basically just walked away from professional golf and not told anyone. So this is my retirement announcement, or I don't even like the word retirement, but stepping away from professional golf.
Stepping away. That's
I'm
so
just stepping
formal.
away. It's so formal, isn't it?
Well, when you say stepping away, it still gives you the option if you want to play an event here and there.
Yeah, I probably won't. But
okay.
No.
Well, she's retired. I don't know what to tell you.
I've basically retired. Yeah, I have retired.
Congrats,
it's been on my
Mel.
mind for. Thank you, Kira. It's been on my mind for a while, many, many years, and so I just felt the timing was right, and it's just my kind of relationship with tour life has changed tremendously, and I'm just ready for the next step in my life, in my career. That's actually very exciting to me, and so that's why it's made my decision a lot easier. So yeah. I've done an Irish exit, everyone. It's pretty standard for me. I do it on nights out on a regular basis, and I've just done it on a 17-year professional golf career, which is very on brand for me. So I apologize if I've not mentioned it to people, but I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it to everyone in my team, thank God. So at least they know.
Well, if not, they're hearing it now.
Exactly. If I've missed you out, I apologize. I do apologize, but yes, I've done an Irish exit. But yeah, so yeah, there we go. Next step in my life is coming up. So let's see where it goes.
And so, okay, I want to, before we talk about the next stage of your life, I want to focus on what your professional golf career was like for one more question, and then we can move on. Can you kind of explain the life of Mel Reid, maybe like 10, 12 years ago on tour, and like what that looked like, and also just the grind that people might not understand?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone up and down a little bit. Like, I've been extremely dedicated, and then like extremely like golf, and being the best player in the world was an obsession. And then there's been times where that relationship's definitely changed, and then it's gone back to like, no, my back's against the wall here. I have to grind my ass off. But tour life is it's very different to what it was, if I'm honest, like 10, 15 years ago. When I first came out, it was, now bearing in mind, I started out in Europe as well. It was kind of very much like a family. You kind of traveled with a bunch of mates. You stayed with a bunch of your friends out on tour. It was not as cutthroat, I would say, as it is now. It was, and it was fun. Like there wasn't as much technology back then. Like we had no TrackMans or like GC quads or anything like that. So it was a little bit more kind of old school, I would say. A little bit more free. Like I remember
the eye test.
Yeah, and like I remember like having to get like a rental car, and like I had to like draw out my directions like on a map because like I didn't have a GPS and stuff. Like it's wild, isn't it? I mean, that wasn't that long ago. I'm acting like I'm 100 years old. I know, I'm acting like I was born in the 20s, but yeah, and then you know, I kind of have an up and down career, and then the LPGA the last 8 years have been amazing. Like the opportunities on the LPGA are just a joke. And the way that it's changing now, I mean, the girls are, you know, it is getting better and better, and the prize money is going up that we've been fighting for so long. But it's definitely more business out there. I'm very fortunate. I've had some great friends on the LPGA, where it's made it a lot easier because we all stay in Airbnbs and stuff. But a lot of my friends that I started with have either retired or quit. So yeah, it's very different now for sure. It's definitely more business, a bit more cutthroat. You know, people don't really like hang out at the bars if you miss the cut or anything like that. They're kind of grinding the next day, and that's something that I enjoy doing if I miss the cut, is going to the pub and talking.
This is where you can get the beyond the PG section.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if you want to tell those stories.
Yeah. Like I enjoy sitting there with my caddy talking about how shit I was. Like I think it's kind of a good reflection, and like it's a good little reset to have a day off and then get back to it. Because yeah, as golfers are completely psychotic and we're just absolute grinders. But yeah, I've learned so much being a professional golfer, and it, like we said earlier about starting the podcast, right? Like it has brought me everything amazing in my life. It's been pretty much from golf. You know, I met Carly through golf, like all my best friends mainly are through golf. Somewhere or another, you know, even my friends in England, like I moved to a certain place from my hometown just 40 minutes away because of like the facility that they had. And then I met my friends there, kind of thing. It's kind of, everything has kind of been through golf. So yeah, I'm forever indebted to it, and it will always be a huge part of my life, but I'm just don't want to be a tour pro anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well,
how did you get into golf? Can I ask that?
Well, we're not talking about me yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's still my turn to interview you. Gosh, wait your turn.
Okay, go. Next question.
I want to talk about Carly. I want to talk about Carly, your wife, and your son Kai, and your little journey to get your little baby, and how cute he is.
He is pretty cute, actually, which is shocking because he came from me, unfortunately. But yeah, no. Yeah, me and Carly have been together like 6.5 years, which yeah, I mean, in lesbian years, that's like 42 years. So that's it's pretty good going for us.
Oh my God.
It's like dog years.
It's like a dog years, but lesbian
100%.
years.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know. But yeah, so we'd been married or whatever. I don't even know the story. We met in 2018 at the Ryder Cup in Paris. Kind of,
there you go, golf.
Golf. One of my best friends, Molly Gallatin, introduced us. I was moving to America randomly, like the Wednesday after that, and kind of we didn't look back. So yeah, we've been together 6.5 years, and Kai now is 14 months. So we both were very passionate about having a family. I've not been that keen on carrying a baby, just because.
I mean, is anyone that keen?
Well, Carly was very keen. Like she's
okay. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble maybe for having said that, but like I want to carry a child one day, but I don't know that I'm like excited about the physical
I'm with you,
destruction of your body.
The one thing I've got going for me is my body, and like if I ruin that,
that's the only thing. That's it.
I'm screwed. I'm done. So, yeah. So basically, yeah, we did reciprocal IVF. So that's where obviously I have to get my eggs taken out, make sure they're mature and they're all in good health, and you kind of on medication for that for a few weeks, and then we obviously picked a sperm donor, and which was random, by the way. And then they kind of made them into little embryos, and thankfully we had a few embryos. Of them. We had a lot of cute little embryos, and and then they basically implant one of them into Kai, the healthiest one. We didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, and we're very fortunate that everything kind of went extremely smooth in the first go. And 9 months later, we had little baby Kai, who's absolute rocket, by the way. He's he's a proper lad, honestly. He just doesn't stop.
I wonder where he gets that from.
No, exactly. I know. But no, he's very, very lucky. He's a fantastic little lad and amazing hand and eye coordination. So I'm kind of pretty glad about that, because if my son wasn't into sport, I would be a bit, I shouldn't probably say that, but I would be a bit gutted, yeah. I've just dropped something. I would be a bit gutted though, yeah.
How do you feel about your kid having an American accent?
He's not going to have American. Actually, okay.
He is.
I'm going to prove that he's not. Okay, you ready?
He literally is.
No, he's not. So listen to this. So he's just starting to say words now, right? And so when you say banana, he goes, banana, right? He can't, but he does that, right? So my mother-in-law, Lorraine, amazing woman, Carly's mum, FaceTimed us literally 2 days ago and was talking to Kai, and she went, are you going to say, I can't even do it in an American accent. Say banana.
Banana,
like that. And he was just looking at her like, what the fuck? And then I said, Kai, say banana. And he went, Anna. So he's British.
Okay, I'm going to refute your theory and crush your soul here. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So my parents are Russian immigrants. I grew up speaking Russian. My first language was Russian. And I only spoke Russian until I went to kindergarten. And now I speak perfect English with a perfect American accent because of the people that I was in school with.
Mm.
So unfortunately, the little child at school is going to be like, Kai, great. Like, do you have bananas in your lunch?
Great job.
Great job.
I'm going to put Bluey and Peppa Pig on as much as possible.
Okay, fine.
And I am going to be, I just want the little lad to have a British accent. I mean, come on.
I want him to have a British accent too. British accents are so much better than American accents.
I mean, how do you think I got this gig? It wasn't from anything else apart from my accent. That's how I get most of my TV
you have a lovely sense of humor. Great personality.
Oh, stop it now. Stop it. It's all bollocks.
And speaking of, what are the weirdest things that you've observed about living in America?
I know our audience is going to be mainly American, so I don't want to... Listen, America, amazing place, right? In my opinion. Opportunities, fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys are lovely people.
Thank you.
As British people, we're pretty cynical and we're pretty like moany and we're pretty negative, right? So like when I get asked all the time, like, how's your day? I'm like, the British in me wants to say like, it's none of your fucking business. But because I've been here, I'm polite. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. Thank you so much. So lovely. But when my dad comes of it, he's like, why the fuck is she asking me? It's none of her business. Like, it's just very British, right? The way that you literally say things. So like, I think we've spoke about this, but like, all right. So in England, we just know that it's horse riding, right? but you guys have to be very specific and say horseback riding.
Yeah.
Well, we just know to ride the back of the horse, but it has to be a bit more.
It's not on the side or
it's not like the neck or, the leg.
Well, it's horseback. You ride
riding.
on horseback.
Where else would you ride a horse? Where else on the horse
I don't know who invented the term horseback, but I think you guys did.
Pavement. We know that you probably shouldn't walk in the road, so you just walk on the pavement, whereas you guys are sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
Yeah. Gas, it's a liquid.
Oh, don't say petrol.
It's petrol. It's
gas. My God.
Gas is gas. It's not gasoline. A liquid. So yeah, it's things like that really that I've kind of been aware of since being here. But hey, I'm married an American.
You're committed.
I love America. I'm pretty committed, at this point.
You're pot committed. You're here for the duration.
I think so.
Okay.
So.
I guess to transition to me, what were your first impressions of me, Mel? Oh, God.
What was my first impression of you? Okay, so I knew that I'm going to get into this in a minute, but I knew obviously you were my agent that mentioned that you were Miss America. And so like my first impression of you was like, I mean, look, I am obviously a lesbian, right? But like, just so you know, I don't fancy her. Okay, I just want you to know that. It's okay.
Crushed.
But I was
am crushed.
But you're just very like, what's the word? Like welcoming, if that makes sense.
Nice.
Like in like you smile and like you're just very, that welcoming. I don't know. I just thought you were lovely. We were actually we went for dinner, didn't we, at Hilton at the Hilton event, the Champions event, and I just thought you were lovely. Just thought you were dead easy to talk to. You were like a little bit funny, which I quite liked. I just think you're really nice. And then we've done some hosting together at NBC at some events and stuff. And I love working with you. I just think you're a fantastic host, and you just make me feel very at ease when I don't know what I'm doing. And so, kind of like this podcast, really. Most of the time, great. I don't really know what I'm doing, but you just make me feel very at ease. So it's just a lovely person, Kira.
Oh, thank you, Mel. Well, I also had that same first impression of you. We share the same agent, and when I found out that Cassette represented you, I was like, oh my God, Mel's so cool and like funny and great at golf and all the things. And then we went on our first friend date, and sometimes you just don't gel with people, but it was like it was easy. You're just my bud that I had known forever. Yeah. So when this came up, this was just such a no-brainer thing. And then to work with you on the stuff that we've done at NBC, that's all been amazing. So anyway, that's all I got for you.
Can I ask you some questions?
Please, it's your turn now.
So I mentioned it earlier, but you were former Miss America. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cool, Kira.
Back in the day.
10
years ago.
So yeah, I just want to know. Actually, I don't want to know how that happened. I just want to know what the actual experience is like.
Okay,
like the process.
Yeah, so it's changed over the years, but I'll just say what my experience was like. You have to, well, this is still the case. You have to win a local competition, and then you win your state, and then once you win the state, you go to the national, which is Miss America. So I was Miss New York City was my local, and then Miss New York, because I lived in New York at the time. I'd gone to school there and was living in New York. You can compete anywhere you've lived for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
But I lived there for much, much longer. And then I went to Miss America and became Miss America. But the pageant itself is about a 2-week process. Mm-hmm. We had a Washington, D.C. tour. We went to the White House. We went to Capitol building. We did all these, like photo op things, meetings with various government people. And then we went to Atlantic City, where the competition was at the time. Atlantic City is the original home of Miss America back in 1921, the original bathing beauty contest that meant to keep tourists in Atlantic City past Labor Day, which is why Miss America was invented.
No way.
And it's 2 weeks of the most crazy thing you have ever experienced. You're up at 4 a.m. every day. You're in rehearsals. You're in filming. You're in hair and makeup. You're in competition. To do it all again the next day. So many girls get sick. It's a true test of endurance. And then by the end, somebody wins. And on the final night, they pick a top 15, then they eliminate, to the top 10, the top 5, and you do different stages of competitions throughout the night, and then they crown a winner. And
which was you?
Which was me, and you get to walk down the long runway and just smile at the people and wave and cry, and then you start a year of, you travel every 2 days, you're in a different city, do about 20,000 miles a month, and it's pretty wild.
That is insane.
Yeah. It's a good fun fact.
That is it's more than a fun fact. It's a sick fact.
It's a sick fact.
It's a sick fact. So how did you go from that to then getting into golf? Like, were you already into golf when you were like applying for Miss America?
So I mentioned that my parents. No. I had already grown up playing golf. My parents are Russian immigrants, and they thought that it was a very important American business skill for their kid to learn how to play golf. They had never played any golf. They don't know anything about golf, but I think my dad just, saw business people having that skill.
That's clever.
And so he took me, we were on a family vacation to Destin, Florida when I was 3 or 4 years old. And we went to a local muni and rented a set of clubs, and we played. And I loved it. And we played and we played and we played. And I ended up playing like very serious junior golf. We moved to Texas at one point, and so I played serious junior golf in Texas. Then we moved to California, and at this point, I'm in high school, and golf isn't really cool, and like it couldn't go on social media and be like, "Wow, look at the cool stuff that Mel, Reid, and Michelle Wee are doing because of golf." Like I didn't know. I thought golf was dumb, but I still could always play because I started so young. And when I was Miss America, the security director at Miss America is the security director for the BMW Pro-Am on the now Corn Ferry Tour. And he literally, I'm coming off the stage. I've just won Miss America. I'm shaking, adrenaline, the whole thing. He grabs my arm with the most like serious look on his face. And he's like, "Kira, do you play golf?" And I was like, Yes, Rodney, I can play golf. And he was like, "Okay, great. I'll follow up with you later." And I was like, "Okay." And then a few months later, the BMW Pro-Am was on my schedule, and they had invited me to play as a female celebrity because they're always trying to get more women to play in these events. And I was like, "Okay, like I haven't played in 10 years." I started going to some driving ranges on my days off, wherever I was. And I played in this golf tournament, and the Golf Channel interviewed me, and that was it. And I was like, "Oh my God, wait, I forgot how great this is." So I started playing again, and then that got me into golf media, and now I have a podcast with Mel Reid.
That's really cool. Yeah. Where was the BMW?
I think it's in Greenville, North Carolina. Okay. Thornblade Club.
So it's the same place as it is now?
Yeah, I think so.
That's really cool. All right, like what's like, I get asked this loads, So what's like a golf bag essential? Like what's in your golf bag that you absolutely have to have? And don't say golf clubs. Don't say golf clubs.
No, I'm not.
Please.
Oh my God. Who do you think I am? This is a very...
Is it an influencer light? What are they called?
Shut up. No. What? Well, it's related. It's one of those G-Pod things that sticks in the ground and with the mag thing for your phone so that I can take videos of my swing while I'm practicing, but also make content.
But also make fantastic content.
Yeah, that's probably it. I also have a sick tie-dye San Francisco Lake Merced golf towel, which I just got, which I love.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I think that's my new favorite accessory on my bag.
I like that.
Thank you.
I'm old school with towels though. I like just white. I'm very old school. I just like plain white.
Well, that's why you're a professional golfer and I'm just here for fun.
Retired professional golfer.
You will always be a professional golfer.
I don't know. I played the other day. The other week we went on a boys trip and oh God. I'm not a very natural golfer. I can tell you that much. I definitely need to do some work.
But you're an athlete. You're a natural athlete.
I mean, I don't know. I think sports is the only thing I'm good at. I'm not good at anything else. I'm not good at anything else.
A natural athlete. This is just what I
That's literally okay, fine. I'm not very good at taking compliments, but yeah, okay, fine. I can do things. I'm coordinated.
But there's a lot of pressure with people hear, "Oh, you're a professional athlete, blah, 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 you're a professional golfer." Then all of a sudden people have this thing in their head. So that can create like pressure for you when you're just trying to like also live your life and have fun on a golf course. They have this image in their mind of what that is, and so they put pressure on you and what they're trying to see.
100%. That's why I don't like pro-ams. If I'm honest, unless like to be honest, I usually get really good prams. I'm very fortunate. I usually get really good groups who aren't like that. But the occasional group that is like expects me to birdie every single hole and like hole every single 30-footer, it's one of my biggest golf icks, actually. Is like when pram teams,
and they give you a hard time about it, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, why did we not make that 30-footer? And I'm like, because
no one does.
There's like a 5% chance on the PJ Tour and LPGA making that, and you're a 35 handicapper. So yes, we didn't make that putt. It's one of my biggest icks, honestly, is like when prom teams are a little bit like that. But that can be a whole other episode as well.
Yeah. Oh, we can do a whole pro-am episode. We've got stories.
God, proms. Yeah, I won't miss proms too much. Oh dear. All right, I've got one more for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you kind of like the other question, actually. So you travel, obviously. In fact, you're probably going to travel way more than me now this year because I'm not traveling.
I'm going to be on the road a lot.
Stuff. Yeah.
So this background is a hotel room. This is not my house.
It is. Yeah, it's a hotel room. It's a good
in
background,
the future. Though. Thank you. Yeah,
this
I lucked out with this. In the future, our audience, if they're watching on YouTube, they'll see the background that I put some effort into.
You've done well there, though. On the background. So
thank you. You're
welcome.
Too.
Thanks. Put the shelves up myself. Proper lesbian me, Kira. DIY.
I wasn't going to say it.
I put my tool belt on. It's one of my favorite things. I got two of them actually as a wedding gift, so I just alternate between the two of them.
The tool belt? You got tool belts as a wedding gift?
I got two.
People are like, what do I get for a lesbian?
It's called a nut hugger. It is. Look it up. It's amazing. It's really cool. It's leather. It's a brown leather, very high quality. And I got two of them.
Maybe I'll get one for Andrew.
It's amazing. Honestly.
Great.
Cardi,
good to know. Put it on. We'll put it on the Christmas episode.
That's right. We should. On the
gift
calendar.
Guide.
We'll do a calendar one day and I'll wear it. Yeah, Cardi absolutely just repulses her. So I like to wear it. Okay, like a travel accessory as well. Like what do you need to like what are you taking with you every single week? That is like an absolute have to have it.
Yeah.
That makes your life easier on the road.
So I do 30 weeks a year, or for the past 5 or 6 years, I've done 30 weeks a year on the road, that's
insane, isn't it?
Yeah. When you say it like that, it's a lot.
That's what we do as like professionals as well. But it's just when you think about it, it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of time. I mean, it's more time on the road than at home. I don't know that I have so I have something called a mini skillet.
I didn't know where you were going to go with this. So, okay, carry on.
No.
Okay, carry on.
And I am big on grocery shopping.
You have those everywhere.
I'm grocery shopping. Shut up. I go grocery shopping in the beginning of every week, and I like a piece of toast. And it's a whole process to go down to the, hotel restaurant, just order a side of toast, and it's like $5 and all this stuff. So I usually get some bread, and so that I can toast it in my room, I toast it on this little mini skillet thing. So I can toast a piece of bread, and it makes my quality of life so much higher. And I put cottage cheese and Chipotle bitchin' sauce on it, and that's what I have every morning for breakfast in my room. I'm the type of person that eats the same thing for every meal every day.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm a routine.
Because I don't want to think about it. Yeah. But in general, I know if it's a Golf Channel week, I know that I have 4 days of Golf Channel apparel that I have to wear. So I plan my outfits in advance for that. I'll maybe go out to dinner once. I have one dinner outfit. I have workout clothes. I have pajamas, toiletries, makeup, done. That's everything I bring. So I've gotten really good at just being as efficient with my packing as possible, because when you're lugging this crap everywhere and putting it in the rental car, blah, 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 you just want to be as light as possible. So, and now my podcast gear.
That's right. That's right. Have you tried, just going back to the toast thing. So I'm obsessed at the minute with toast, cottage cheese, everything seasoning bagel stuff. Everything bagel seasoning, and honey. It's unbelievable. A bit of honey on it. Yeah, I give it to Kai as well.
I could travel with honey.
Yeah. It's so good.
I could put a thing of honey in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
great.
so good.
I'll give it a shot. I love I love that bitchin' sauce because it's like savory and spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's my favorite. I put that on everything. But I will report back.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah. Honestly, it's we have it all the time now. All right, cool.
Okay, I feel like our audience has sufficiently gotten to know us. They will continue to get to know us for the duration of our show.
Which I apologize for.
I don't. I think we're great.
Okay. You are great. I'm nervous about what things might come up about me.
Well, and that will be the best part. Okay, so we have our last thing for this episode is a little game that our producers have come up with.
All right, so we have some questions that our producer has kindly put together, which, by the way, when she sent me the questions for you, was like, oh my God, Kira's was so easy because she's lived like 1,000 lives. She's like, yours are really hard. I was like, excellent.
Well, because you're just a professional. No, I'm just kidding. Because you've been literally doing the same thing for 17, 18 years.
Basically, I've lived a very boring life. So that's awesome. No, I'm only joking. All right, so I didn't know this about you. So I'm actually learning about you as well. So question number 1. You were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2016. Did you learn your lesson? Because what was the answer to the final question that you didn't answer? Do you want me to read it out to you?
Obviously. Yeah, because I don't remember what the question was.
You don't remember from 2016?
I remember being on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I think we won like $20,000, which is not a millionaire. But I don't remember the last question.
That wasn't, yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Taking his real last name and spelling it backwards, Dr. Seuss wrote a number of books using what surname? A. Klopp. B. Von Itzu. C. Lycée. D. Du Atra. As someone who can't read very well, that was really difficult challenge for me to read that
out. So because I can't see it and I'm a visual learner, that's the excuse I'm going to give here. I don't remember what the answer was, but I'm just going to say D, whatever it was.
No, it was C. Lycée.
Oh.
Do you remember that
Dang.
at all?
No, I don't remember. I remember, I think the question before that was like about mushrooms or something. I remember that.
Really?
We nice. Deliberated forever about it. Nice. That was a crazy experience. That's so funny. That's so funny you guys found that.
Is 20,000 like, I can't remember Who Wants to Be. I actually used to love that show as a kid. Is 20,000 not great?
No, I think it's actually pretty good. Okay. And it went to children's hospitals, Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Nice. So I was quite proud of myself. You know what show I liked? The lady with the British accent where she goes, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Weakest link."
I love that lady.
Yeah, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, I like that as well. All right, question number 2.
Okay, Mel. In a 2007 interview, you said you want to be a female version of what golfer?
Oh, God, I don't know. A female version of what golfer?
So it has to be a man.
Okay, fine. I got that. Thank you. I got that. Thank you very much, Kira.
You're
welcome. I don't know. I probably said Tiger Woods.
Ding, ding, ding.
Did I?
That is correct.
Wow. Well, do you know what? If you put our careers together, they're very comparable. So,
yeah,
very
long,
very
prosperous.
Yeah, literally the most opposite careers of all time. So
I don't think about.
Yeah, God, I used to love. I still do. I'm a huge Tiger Woods fan. He's the GOAT. But
I mean, you were also growing up when he was doing what he was like. I wanted to play golf because of him.
Yeah, when I remember watching him win the Masters in '97. I was in Portugal because we used to have a share there, and that's where I started to play golf. Really, originally, like just mucking around, and then I went to the golf club. I just would like putt around while my parents played, but it was because I saw Tiger win, and I was like, "That's sick," and just wanted to play.
That's cool.
No, he made golf cool for me. I think he made it cool for a lot of people. So
totally.
He's the GOAT. Okay. Number 2. What was the name of the runner-up when you won Miss America in 2015?
Miss Virginia, Courtney Page Garrett.
Wow, I didn't even have the middle name there, girl, and you did.
Well, because that's how she introduced herself. Like,
did she?
Blah, 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 blah.
Names.
Miss Virginia, Courtney Page Garrett. Like, that's how everybody, I was like, I'm Miss New York, Kira Kazantsev.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, that's
so you just
good.
remember that those, how like random
like
stuff
songs,
sticks.
yeah,
or like
tones.
Totally.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Totally. So I just so remember the intro.
Nice. Well done, Kira.
Thank you. Okay. You've got something in the USGA museum, Mel, from the US Open. Yeah. What is it?
It is my hat, because the week of the US Open, I was okay, don't quote me on this, but it was something like I was the first player to wear the Pride logo on as the main sponsor of my hat. I was with Pega at the time, and we did a cool collaboration for Pride Month, and I wore it during the whole of June, and I've actually done it with my sponsors ever since. So yeah, it's been a cool collaboration that I've always wanted to do during Pride Month, and that's why it's in the USJ museum. And I was very honored that they asked me to do that. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool moment for me.
Very cool. I remember that hat, and when you were talking about that, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, it was cool. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What was your talent? I've seen this video. What was your talent in the 2015 Miss America pageant?
I knew you guys were going to pull something about this. So I do remember what my talent was. At the time, there's a backstory here. At the time, the movie Pitch Perfect had just come out, and the song Happy by Pharrell was blasting the airwaves. And I sang. I don't really sing in public anymore because of, trauma. But I was, the two women that won Miss America before me were Miss New York. So because I was the third, it was clear that I was not going to win just by statistics. And I decided I was going to just do something really fun and off the wall and my personality, because who cares? I'm not going to win anyway. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I want. So I did a mashup of the song, You're Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone from Pitch Perfect. Have you ever heard that song?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
See, I didn't want to sing it. I wanted you to sing it, and it worked. See, she's good, people. She's here. She's here for a long time.
Still got it. But I sang Happy. Like, it was like a mashup of the.
Anyway, if you should watch the video. It's very good. And
I don't know.
I've never heard you sing, but actually, do you know who mentioned to me that you're a good singer? Was Carly. So she must have heard you somewhere, and she was like, Kira's a sick singer. And I was like, what? And not only did you actually do that very well, and you sang it amazingly, but you were sat down as well, which I found even more impressive. I know.
With the cup on the stage. Yeah. It was very controversial at the time. The pageant blog. Oh my God. People were ripping me apart for that.
Why?
Someone wrote an article that said, what to do for pageant talent when you don't have a talent. And it was my face.
Why though? That's really talented.
It's
so what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
You're supposed to entertain people.
Well, I don't entertaining.
Know. Whatever.
I'm
clearly over it.
I thought your talent was going to be making toast on a skillet. So I'm a bit disappointed that wasn't.
There's still time.
There's still time.
I could do a senior pageant.
Yeah, please. I'll join you with my nut hugger on.
Perfect. Maybe we could be the judges.
Yeah, okay. I'll still have my nut hugger on.
Perfect.
Tool belt. For everyone who's just tuned in, it is a tool belt just for everyone. It's not an actual nut hugger.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. Mel.
All right, last question for you.
Okay.
You played your first Pro-Am on May 14th, 2015, the BMW Charity Pro-Am. We were just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your partner?
Kevin Tway.
Really?
Yeah. It was actually so funny.
I bet it was. I bet it was fun.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. So I hadn't played in a long time. So AKA I was really bad. And the poor guy, I think, just didn't know what to do. So At one point I had this horrible lie, like up against a cliff type of thing to try and get, to get onto a green. And I was like, can I hit it against the cliff thing? And he was like, yeah, just hit it. Whatever.
He's just given up all hope on you.
Completely given up on me. He was like, it doesn't matter. The score doesn't matter. He was like, you've lost.
Yeah, pick up the fucking ball, girl.
Yeah, but he was very nice and made it a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, and your last one, this is kind of funny. On your Wikipedia page, it says not to confuse you with a certain Scottish woman also named Melissa Reid. What was she arrested for?
Drug smuggling in Peru. And when
what
she
kind
did,
of drug smuggling?
Exact the same name, Melissa Reid, exact same spelling, everything. She was smuggling some cocaine or something, some drug out of Peru. Like just, I don't know, in one of those kind of Asian, is Peru Asian?
No.
Is it an Asian country? Okay. Fuck. Anyway, South American?
Yes, thank you. Okay. You got it. You got it. I knew you were there.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
She's been playing golf for 17 years.
Yeah,
It's really all consuming.
Mel, just read a book. So anyway.
Or a map.
Or just anything other than watching golf and looking at picture magazines.
So good.
God, Carly's gonna kill me for that. She's really gonna kill me for that. Anyway, so, and the thing is, geography is one of my highlights. So that's
is it
really, yeah. So that's really.
In what way?
I'm usually pretty good at it, so I don't know why I messed it up so bad. Anyway, the Peru that's in South America. Anyway. So when that happened, I this is no joke, I shit you not, every time I traveled to America, I got pulled in the back because they thought I was Melissa Reid, the drug, I got done 4 times. I said, they were like, have you been to Peru? I was like, no, I've never been to Asia. No, I'm joking.
So like, no, that's sus. Asia. That's sus. Put her in the back room.
Exactly. I'm like, no, I haven't been to Asia in like 2 years. They're like, well, it's in South America. I'm like, oh. So yeah, no, I got pulled in like 4 times. I was like, just so you know, I'm not that person. I guarantee I'm not that person. And
I'm not that person.
Yeah, and I was in there for like 5 minutes before they were like, wow, that's really weird. Like, but I would get flagged every time I would travel to America.
When did you become Mel and not Melissa in terms of like your
literally
nickname?
The day I was born. But my real name's Melissa, obviously. Yeah.
Does anyone call you Melissa? Would anyone call you Melissa ever? In your family
my dad's maybe, like my dad.
Melissa.
Like, yeah, just like he just calls me it, but he also calls me like the family dog and like things like that. So
thanks, Dad.
Yeah, it's like Bailey. I'm like, it's not me. And he calls Kai Kia, like the car.
Kai is your son. That he is.
Kai is my son, and he gets confused with the A. And I mean, he's 87 years old. Bless him. He's fit as a fiddle, but he's 87. And then he's like, "How's our Kia doing?" I'm like, "He's not a car." Like, he's not an electric car, Dad. But so yeah, maybe that's. But yeah, he calls me Melissa occasionally. But no, everyone calls me Mel. I've been Mel my whole life. Yeah. So yeah, fun facts.
Great. Very fun. Very fun fact. Not a drug dealer. Great.
Nope, not a drug dealer. Not by any
Just
stretch of the
professional
imagination.
golfer.
Yeah. So
cool. Okay. There we go. That is our very first episode. It's kind of crazy to say that we just did that.
It is. It is very crazy, but it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because like none of us has ever really done a podcast. So I promise you, if you thought it was shit, we will get better at it. But I think we did pretty good. And
I think we did pretty good.
To know. Yeah, we did get to know each other and hopefully learn some fun facts, not only about me, but about Kira, and hopefully learn a bit more about us.
Yeah. So as we said, we'll be out on Wednesdays every week. So you can make us part of your weekly routine. And we promise to never be quiet on Quiet Please. I think that's something we can guarantee.
I will always guarantee that, Kira.
All right, Mel, this was great. We will talk next week.
We'll see you next week.